Welcome to the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today, my guest is Mary Crawford. Mary is an energy healer. She believes energy is everything. Mary has been working with energy systems of people and animals for over 20 years. She uses many forms of energy clearing and healing. Mary helps people find a balance and shares tools to maintain it, which is what fuels the joy of being well. Stick around. I want to introduce her to you. Hi, Mary. How are you?
I'm good, Nancy. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. I'm excited to hear some of the things that you will say today, but we start with, how did you come to veganism?
Okay. Well, I wasn't born that way. So I'm in Wisconsin and we're the dairy and farm people. And so I grew up eating a lot of cheese and hot dogs and all that stuff. But I've been doing the energy work for about 20 years. And I realized that I had been having panic attacks almost all my adult life. And I couldn't figure out where this was coming from. I'm a pretty calm person. I do yoga, and do the energy work and everything. And it finally came. It was actually kind of a download and a message that I was carrying the energy of the animals that I ate. Because as they go to slaughter, they are in total panic mode and releasing all kinds of hormones and chemicals into their bodies. And then we eat that. Sounds good, huh? And as soon as I stopped eating meat, the panic attacks went away. And then I did a lot of more research. I hadn't been a big dairy person, although I am in Wisconsin and I did love cheese. I never really drank milk, but the more I researched the dairy products, the more I just couldn't stomach the thought of being involved in what happens to those animals as well. So that was the beginning of veganism. So I've been vegan for 5 or 6 years, vegetarian for quite a while before that as well.
Well, wow. Yes. I mean, I tell people you're ingesting all that stress, all that fear, um, and it's just not good for you,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, so let's talk about the joy of being well. But
Mhm.
let's take it little by little. Let's start with doTERRA oils. Now you work with doTERRA oils.
Mhm. Mhm.
Let's
Yeah,
talk.
I've been doing that for about 10 years. I've actually worked with essential oils for a long time. I really believe in that energy coming directly from the earth.
Mhm.
Um, but I wasn't getting a lot of results with the oils that I was using from another really big company and other things that I had tried. So a friend introduced me to doTERRA. And because I do energy work, that's the first thing is I check is the vibration of the product. It was so high. It was just super, super high. And then I checked in on the vibration of the company itself, which has to do with the people who are running it. Also really, really high vibration. So I thought, I'm going to try these, and I have gotten more results with these oils and I love using them with first-time people who have never tried an oil before because they get results so quick. And I even use them with animals. The animals love these oils. They absolutely love them, especially things like lavender and frankincense and even peppermint if they have an upset stomach. So yeah, I love the oils.
And do you use them sometimes in cooking?
Yes, yes.
'Cause
Cilantro and cinnamon and wild orange. If you've never had um, frosting made with the wild orange essential oil, you have not lived. It is so good. It's really
I'm gonna have to
worthwhile.
try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was speaking to someone else who does doTERRA oil,
Mhm.
and they were talking about cooking, and I'm like, I never heard about it for cooking.
Mhm. Absolutely. I mean, all of if you think of every herb that you use is a leaf or a plant or a bark for the spices. And this is just a really, really super concentrated form of that same herb. So one drop of peppermint oil is enough to make 20 cups of peppermint tea.
Wow.
So it goes a long way. Yeah. It goes a long way. And you need just a tiny, tiny bit. We even have the Madagascar vanilla now, which is fun. So like just a drop of that is like a tablespoon of pure vanilla.
Wow.
So yeah, why not?
All right, I'm gonna have to try those. And next, let's talk about communicating with animals and animal healing.
Okay. Well, of course, I've loved animals for a long time, and I've been doing the healing work for a long time. And I've used it with my own animals, but and the sense of communication was always just nothing I really thought about as communicating. It was just always a sense, oh, he needs water. I'd be going for a walk and I'm like, oh, you need some water. Let's find somebody who's watering their lawn and we'll get some water. Those kinds of things just always happened. And recently I was working with an animal communicator and she got a kind of downloaded message that I could do exactly what she was doing. So I started trying it. And what I bring to the animal communication is more than just listening to them and talking to them. I actually bring the healing work too. So if they're complaining about a sore hip, I can check in and find out what is that? What is actually going on with that hip? Is it an energy? Is there some trauma energy stuck there? Are you picking up energy from one of the people in the house? Dogs especially will do that. They will take our energy and hold it in their bodies to the point where it causes them pain or illness. And so I help them to release that, to know that they don't have to hold it anymore and get rid of it. And we've had some pretty fast results with animals. So
That is great. When I had a canine daughter, Arwen, and she had to have back surgery, and she wasn't moving, and she was whatever. And a friend of mine, Coral, did that kind of healing work with animals, and I thought, well, let's just try it. Just see how it happened, what happens.
mhm,
And I do believe that it helped Arwen. She,
sure.
because after that she was trying to get up, because one of the things was that she couldn't walk very well because she had the back surgery.
Mhm.
And I truly believe that she totally benefited from the visits that Coral gave
Mhm.
her. So,
Absolutely. There's a really quick story about the oils in animals.
mhm.
My dog ate a Kong, those really hard rubber things, had to have surgery and was not recovering from the surgery. And they were talking about having to go in and do another surgery. He wasn't eating. And I took 5 or 6 oils to the hospital with me. And these are oils that I had tested, muscle tested. They would be the ones for him. And I did this thing called aroma touch technique on his back, dropping the oils on his spine and kind of massaging them in. That afternoon, he ate for the first time, and the next day he was able to come home. It works that fast. So I think it was a little combination of the oils and the energy work, but you know, they work really well together.
And why not, right? Animals get stressed as well as humans, and they have a little bit of a harder time explaining that to their humans because we're not really thinking about that
Mhm.
necessarily. We think about our stress, but we rarely think about, oh, it is, Piper or Max having stress, you know,
Yeah, and
in
they carry it for us.
or why
They
do they?
hate, yeah, it's like their job is to take our stress and our anxiety away. And yeah, and when you have a cat that's needing you like this, that's what they're doing. They're doing energy work on you. So,
Oh, that's cute. I love it. Now, let's talk about energy work for healing for individuals. Now, I was looking briefly at your website,
mhm,
and I saw that you can go back with people and help them through childhood trauma,
mhm,
being one of those things, how to release the trauma.
mhm.
Talk to us about that.
The childhood work is so powerful because we actually are in communication with your little child. And I won't go into the whole process of that, but what happens is that when we help your little child to release that energy that they're holding on to, and you come back to the present day, it's like you're no longer triggered by those things that happened in your childhood. You'll remember them, but they don't have the same emotional trigger for you anymore. And so it's really powerful for people who have been through any kind of trauma. And the trauma can be as, it doesn't have to be a major thing. It could be, my best friend moved away when I was 6 and I was really, really sad. It could be that kind of thing that just stuck with you. And it can even carry the energy of, nobody loves me, I'm not good enough. Those kinds of things we can help you get rid of as well. So that's powerful work.
Wow.
So,
And you do clearing of energy because it's kind of, I think, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking that it's like when I go get a massage and someone massages my body and it releases all the tension and you have to drink a lot of water to release all the toxins that have built up in those spots where there's been tense. So is that kind of what you do but in an energy sense?
the way I look at it is that I am your guide and you are actually doing the work. And I am helping you pinpoint what needs to be released, what needs to be changed. And you're working with me. It's not like you're just passive in this work, because it's more powerful if you're involved and you're doing the work as well. So let's say that you're holding on to some inherited energy of being unsupported that was passed down through many generations on your mother's side of the family. I can pinpoint that for you, tell you where it came from, and even tell you what part of your body is holding on to it, and we can release it. And it's so interesting when you call out the energy. It's like, I've just been waiting for you to know that I'm here, and it comes to the surface, and you can release it, and it's not that difficult, and it's really fast. So that's how that works.
Okay. Now, if somebody comes, they could do this online or in person.
Most of my work has been over the phone, believe it or
Okay.
not, because I've been doing it for 20 years before we had internet, So
Right. Okay.
some people do come to me in person. Mostly that's when they're coming for the access bars process, which is a hands-on process of energy work. But otherwise, people do it over the phone. I record the session for them, so they have it if they want to listen to it again, especially if we're doing some emotional freedom technique, the tapping, because then they can listen to those phrases and repeat them as needed. So that's really helpful for a lot of clients to have that recording. So.
Okay. So now anyone can then be someone who can come to you for help. Give us your website and the best way to contact you.
My website is thejoyofbeingwell.com, and there is a contact form on there. But I really recommend that people go ahead and sign up. When they get there, they can go to the calendar and sign up for the free discovery session, because that gives us a chance to talk, and I can check in with your energy. We can talk about what you need and find out what's the best way for you to work with me, if it's even a good thing. So that's a good way to start.
That's great. Thank you, Mary, for being on the Vegan Pulse. I will have all your information with this video so that people can reach out to you.
Great.
And thank you for being vegan, for being a healer, for being an animal communicator. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on another Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Remember, check out our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.